Welcome back to Shelf Addiction, the podcast where we dive deep into the thriller and fantasy reads that you love. I'm your host, Tamara, and today we are breaking down our March Fantasy Series read. If you want the full visual experience with zero ads, head on over to our Patreon for video episodes, after shows, and other bonus content. Supporters can access those same exclusives and after shows right on Spotify. For even more bookish banter, check out our community on the Book Clubs app, and please subscribe and leave a review wherever you're listening. As always with Book Chats, we will be talking full spoilers today, so spoiler alert, you've been warned. Now I'm excited to welcome back my Fantasy Reads bestie, Casey from Heartful of Ink. Welcome back, Casey.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm glad you're here as well to get me through this last book. Yeah,
I'm already laughing. This is going to be a great episode.
I think so. If you have not heard me on a rant yet, I think you might be in for a treat.
Yes.
All right, let me give you guys the details of what we're talking about. Today we are discussing Lethal Souls, the third and final book in this trilogy written by Shannora Williams. The audiobook is narrated by Shane East or Nash and Stephanie Nemeth Parker. First published August 13th, 2024 by Platinum Queen Press, LLC. The author published the audiobook. Yeah, the ebook is 544 pages and the unabridged audio is 12 hours and 53 minutes. Okay, Casey, would you kindly share the synopsis?
Now that I've found my soulmate, life has never been better. But of course, as a cold, tethered couple, happiness doesn't always last. Soon my nightmares are being haunted, my future threatened, and my bond with Kaz could slip right through my fingers. I hate that it's come to this, but we're now facing the biggest fight of our lives. Limits are tested, blood is shed, hearts are shattered. My only hope is that through it all, everyone I love makes it out alive. Kaz. There is nothing I want more than to give Willow the life she deserves. Unfortunately, that becomes too hard to do when a wicked being wants to destroy me, my tethered bond, and everyone I love. Soon territories are being threatened, family members are attacked, and betrayals come from all directions. According to two of the Regals, I am the only person powerful enough to save the fate of the world. No matter how much I struggle to control the power inside me, there is one thing I must remember. If I give up, I will lose everything.
Okay, so as we do, high level, when you finished this book, what were your initial thoughts?
Ugh. Why? Why?
Mm-hmm.
It's why. If you listen to the last episode or you know anything about either of us, you know.
Yeah, you know.
What's coming.
Yeah. So for me, I was like, at the end, I was like, well, that ending was definitely for somebody. It wasn't for me, but it was for someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like coming out of such a high from the second book, I almost knew it was going to happen. I just had
We
this
talked
gut.
about it.
We did. We talked about it and we said, we hope she doesn't do this. And she did exactly that. So sad. I feel like Willow's character, let's just jump in. I feel like Willow's character was such a lost opportunity. There was so much the author could have done with her. And instead, she reduced her to a
Maker.
A what?
Baby maker? Like a
Yeah, but yeah, she couldn't do anything but have that baby. She could not really fight well, even though she tried to learn a little bit. She couldn't do that. All she could do was carry that baby and be Cass's cheerleader, which annoyed the shit out of me for some reason.
Because she got sidelined.
Mm-hmm.
She was growing in power over the last two books, especially in book 2. She was really starting to come into her own and really starting to handle herself. And then she got pregnant and all of a sudden she's like, well, I can't fight because I'm pregnant. What if I give all this power to my baby and just die? Because the baby's more important than me, so I can die. Oh my God, she dropped me, but I'm pregnant. How could you drop a pregnant woman?
That's all. Pregnancy became her whole personality. And that's the problem more than anything. Like, we said time and time again on the podcast, we don't really care for the pregnancy trope in fiction books, especially like in these kind where it's war, it's
It's
fighting. It's like
yeah,
we're supposed to be take down evil. Who's got time to get pregnant? Like,
exactly.
yeah, it just ruined it. And then this whole thing, I have this baby with these other, abilities and I could die, maybe. But and that whole thing wasn't clear either. If I got some power, I could give more power to this already powerful baby and it could kill me.
Mhm,
But then at the end, she got all of Cora's power anyway and
mhm.
lived, and the baby was fine. Well, babies were fine,
Babies.
which again was something I kind of just the minute they were talking about names, I said, "Oh, it's going to be twins." They said a girl and a boy name, it's going to be twins. I knew it
As soon
immediately.
as she threw up, I was like, "She's pregnant with twins," because she came from twins. They keep talking about the importance of twins. When will the twins be reborn?
Right,
She's
right,
pregnant
and
with
now
twins,
right, and that's part of the answer as to her survival as well. They're saying, "Oh, twins split the power."
which does not
Yeah,
make sense because they're like, when you give birth, the birthing will destroy you.
right. I don't know.
So, I don't know.
I think that Willow, even when the author kinda had these moments where Willow was like, "I'm tired of being, sidelined. I'm tired
Mhm.
of not being able to help. I'm tired of being weak." She had these moments here and there, but nothing would come of it.
No. No, even when they were fighting in the basement dungeon room, the little girls did more than she did. The little girls, they're what, like 9, 10, the little twins?
Yeah,
They're itty bitty, and they
yeah,
took
and they're
down
like,
this
"I'm ready to fight.
monster
I got my sword.
worse.
Let's go."
Yeah, they did so much more damage than she did. I was like, "What the fuck, Willow?"
Yeah, I was very disappointed with what she did to Willow. And I guess Cass as well. So Cass could not, for the life of him, get his life together unless he was being pep talked by everyone,
Yep. He
including
had a
Willow.
lot of "I wanna give up" moments, but she had to be his cheerleader, and everybody had to be his cheerleader. Everybody had to hold his hand. Everybody had to help train him and get him through stuff, and it was just so I thought we were past this, like, with his character
Apparently
arc.
not.
I thought we were past this. I thought he was ready to kick ass. I thought he was ready to take names and fight, and all of a sudden, he's just like, "No, no."
Nope. I've got this power in me, but I don't know how to access it unless, Willow's in extreme danger. Nothing
Yeah,
else works.
nothing else works. If somebody says, "Jump over this fence," he's like, "I can't do that." And she's like, "Yes, you can. You have the power." And it takes
Yeah,
him 10 minutes to finally realize that he actually does have the power to do it.
yeah. He's pretty whack. So both of these characters kind of tanked for me.
Same.
They were at this really high point. I was feeling really optimistic. And then all of a sudden, it felt like a different book. It felt like a different set of characters. Like, what the hell? You totally tanked them. Why would you do that?
I know. We ended the last book on such a high. You and I both gave it, what, 5 stars? We
Yes.
were so excited. We loved it. We were praising it. We kept talking about how this is one of the best trilogies we've read in a long time. And then we get to book 3, and I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
This does not feel like the characters we love. This does not feel like the plot line we told was coming. Or,
Mm-hmm.
like it was just so mundane and boring and a lot of wallowing in self-pity and I can't do it. I have to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yes, every once in a while, that's fine and normal in a book. I don't expect everybody to be at 100% all of the time, but it was
Yeah.
constant.
Yeah. Like
Even
he
at the
never got
final
over the hump.
battle, he needed to be constantly reassured. He needed to be constantly told to keep fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like he couldn't find his own ambition.
People are dying. At this point, he thought Willow had been killed. And to me, I mean, that could have been the ultimate last ditch effort for
Uh-huh.
him to suddenly just get his life together and wanna, you know, kill everything and everybody immediately, like, take her out, and it was like this whole,
Drawn
"Do not
out.
let her,"
She's
like, even
dying. She's
Uri was
dead.
like,
And they're
"Don't
like,
let
I
her kill you." What are you doing?
yeah. He's like,
She's
she's
gonna
dead.
kill
My
you.
Willow's dead. And they're like, yeah, you have to fight. You were the
Mhm.
last one. Fight for us. And he's like, I don't know. Can I do it? Can I? And I'm just like, oh dear God.
That's what he should have done, just lay down and die.
I mean, thankfully he didn't, but good Lord. Good
I don't
goddess.
know.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't good. I'm sure the author wanted us to really, I guess, have a good time with these war scenes, right? And she did the war scenes pretty good overall, but I think the constant, like we just talked about with Cass's character, it really brought it down. So
Mm,
it deflated all of the energy out of the scenes when
yeah.
he's constantly like needing reassurance. And
Uh-huh.
you're
Uh-huh.
supposed to be the man. You're supposed to feel, you even look different now. The author has put it upon you to even grow by several feet, couple heads. You look different. You got different hair. You've got the spark in your eyes. You should be acting different. You should be
Mm-hmm.
acting like your shit doesn't stink and you're about to take him down. Instead,
Yeah.
you're acting like a child.
Yeah. He had more gumption and badassery back in book one when Willow first appeared and he was like, who the fuck is this person? I'm gonna go to my bar and kill some people in front of you. Like
Hmm.
he did that with no hesitation whatsoever. And now he's like, I can't fight. I don't know what to do. Am I strong enough? Can I do this? Yes, doubts are normal, but I just wanted him to actually believe in himself for more than 2 seconds at a time and then
Hmm.
get pep talks from every single character around him.
Hmm.
Like one pep talk, yeah, that makes sense. But constantly, even throughout the battle with Cora going, you can do this. We need you to do this. Come on, do this. Let's do this. Get up and fight. We need you to fight. We're in the middle of a battle. There's dragons eating people. Please fight.
Hmm.
Like,
Gets very
no.
tired.
Yeah, very tiring.
Yeah. I bet if I could imagine what the character Uri thinks, he probably was like, I picked the wrong guy. This is like painful.
How many times do they have to tell him that Yuri picked him for a reason? Like, it was a
Hmm.
dozen times at least, right? If not
At
more.
least. Yeah.
It was so exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's such a
I,
letdown because we loved the first 2 books so much. Like, that's what
I
I'm
know.
really stuck on. I love the first 2 books so much, and now, like, I'm just complaining and shocked and disappointed in this last book.
Yeah. It's a huge difference. And I don't know, like, did the author run out of steam and she was just trying to get it to the finish line? I don't know. Or did she really envision this for these characters? And if she did, I don't know if really like the writing because I feel like there were some undertones of things I also didn't care for, like this whole pregnancy thing and like how she was willing to sacrifice herself for this pregnancy at any cost.
Oh my
I didn't really
god.
like that.
Save me from quote unquote "selfless women" who will
Yeah.
sacrifice themselves for the baby that is literally a
Mhm.
sack of cells at, what, 6 weeks? I think she was only
Yeah.
6 weeks pregnant at the time, so, like, it's just a sack of cells.
Yeah. And they said, "Oh, you'll probably die." But
Like, "Good, let me die."
yeah, she was gonna like just give me whatever happens, I'll die. And then Cass was like, "Why would you do that?" You know, he acted mad
Yeah.
like a little kid about it. But, ultimately she didn't do it after they talked her off the ledge. She was gonna do it. But I don't know. Something about that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. And to come off of the two main characters for a second, I don't know. Did you catch the whole incest stuff that was thrown in there?
Yeah. Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
I'm like, so the gods are sleeping with each other? The sibling gods are hooking up?
To be fair, and Willow pointed this out too, the Greek gods, which they are somehow connected with because they aren't the same, also had so much incest and slept together. And, it's fucking weird. But
I don't know. I just was like, oh, and it was just like, not a big deal. Oh, okay. That was your man too? Okay, got it. Let's carry on. Oh, there were just so many little things that just did not hit right for me.
okay, this is not a little thing, but what about
Yeah.
Warren? Like, that pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Kept hoping. So, in my mind, if we don't see a body, the person is not dead, because that is so true. 99% of all books and movies, if you don't see a body, they come back to life. We've seen
Mm-hmm.
it happen countless times on this podcast. Like, we've seen this happen. We never saw them actually kill Warren. So I kept hoping, and the other sisters, the Regals, were hinting at stuff like, we didn't tell her the truth. We didn't tell her this. We didn't tell her that. And I was like, I hope you just have Warren like knocked out somewhere unconscious and you're going to bring him back.
No.
He was here for half a second in book 2. They took him. He changed into a monster. Then we open this book and they just kill him off immediately. And I was like, what the fuck was the point of Warren in the first place?
And then did absolutely nothing with his mate for this entire book.
Nothing. She just went off and
Danica
cried and almost
got drunk.
died. And I felt
She
so
became a
bad for
drunkard.
her.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that was another missed opportunity. Danica could have came and revealed all the things that she, learned. And
Yeah,
I mean, there was a place for her in this story instead of just
absolutely.
showing up. Yeah.
There was absolutely a place for her. There was absolutely a place for Warren. Like, I feel like the author maybe had a plot thread in mind for him because, again, like, we ended book 2 on a cliffhanger with him changing and everything, and it was really shocking. And then we get to book 3 and they kill him off like within the first, I don't know, it was like maybe 50 pages. Like,
Immediately, pretty much.
immediately, just here, gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And I was like, what was the point of bringing him in at all then? Like, why
She
couldn't
should
he have
have
just
just left
stayed
him
dead?
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of a waste.
Mhm.
That was disappointing, especially at the end since, everything's supposed to be so dire, but really I guess it's only dire for some people because Willow all the way fucking dies. And because
Mhm.
Cora decides, oh my God, I'm going to go, fly my seed over to her
Oh
and,
my god.
I'll live through her. I'm like, okay. And then we got, what's her name? Not Sela, but the other one. What's the other god's name?
Hessa? Not Hess. It's, hold on. I have to pull it up. There was at the very beginning of the ebook, there's a link to a character sheet, which is very
Hasha. There
helpful.
it is.
Asha,
Hasha.
yeah.
So her ass decides, oh, I'm just going to have a human body hiding somewhere waiting for me to die.
Yeah. Like, what?
What?
That was an option?
Right.
Why didn't you tell
And
anybody
then,
else?
oh, we can't bring people back right now, but, after the war and after you get all the power, hey, you could just bring back your cousin as well. I'm like, oh, we're doing The Walking Dead in this bitch? We're just bringing people back to life?
Nice and easy.
Easy peasy. I'm like, well, if they didn't turn Warren into ashes, maybe he could have brought his ass back too.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I was like, why the fuck does Rowan get to be brought back, but Warren doesn't?
Yeah.
Warren could have been there the whole time. They could have had Warren as the subplot instead of the pregnancy. She
Hmm.
could have been fighting to protect her brother, fighting to figure out a way to save him. Instead, they're just like, nope, he's dead. He's dead and gone in ashes. And now you have to die for your baby. Just like, what? Oh,
Yeah. Because actually, Warren was also infected as well, wasn't he?
he was
So he
infected with
could
the
have,
same blood as Rowan.
right. So he could have brought him. Yeah, that was such a waste.
Hmm.
The, Cora and Hasha could have been like, oh, we've got him floating over here in this thing like Sleeping Beauty until we can figure out what to do with him.
Knocked him out and put him in the little tomb like they did for what's his name, the other bad guy. There's so many characters. The one who she brought back to life and then ate him.
Oh, Decius?
Yes, Theseus. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, they could have bound him like that, knocked him out so he couldn't harm anybody or be a spy.
Right.
But no, they just went, nope, we can't save him. We're killing him.
And then who the author chose to be a spy.
Oh my God. I'm so mad about this. I'm so mad about this.
You had a laundry list of people. You were like, it could be them, da-da-da-da-da.
Trusted nobody. And she brought this random ass man to be the spy.
Mm-hmm.
When the brand new chef was sitting right there as the perfect betrayer. He was
I was waiting.
there.
I was waiting on it. I said, oh, this must be the part where, Casey was right, called out the chef. I said, no, that's not what happened.
Not at all. It drove me crazy. Because what do you mean the pacifist man who leads the gentle people who don't fight or go to war just poisoned an entire village? I don't know. There was a couple hundred people that he just poisoned. So much for being passive and not fighting.
All for the sake of maybe getting his wife and child back. And
who died
was
over
like, she
a
lied.
decade ago, maybe 2 decades ago.
Yeah. So it's not like whose body is laying around. I guess you just expect her to just make it up out of thin air. Stars.
I guess so. Like, what? What?
It didn't even make sense. Why would he want that?
I don't know. I guess because he's been living under her influence for so long, like this whole time, that he was already technically infected and it was easy for her to manipulate him again. But it made no sense.
Mm-mm.
It was one of the worst reveals of a betrayer that I've ever read.
And then the author had Cass run through his allies, especially old girl. She like, you know me. And then he would have, what's her face, dig through her brain. She was pissed the fuck off. And she should have been.
She should be. She should be.
Rifle through my head like that. Okay. But she forgave him as well. She's like, it's fine.
Of course. Everybody forgives Kaz.
Yeah.
Even though he's a dick, they just love him and forgive him. Immediately. Always. Forever.
Right. Okay, let's take a quick break because obviously we're disgusted. We're going to take a little breather and you're going to support us by listening to those commercials. And by doing that, you're going to give us a couple pennies. And then when we come back, we're going to finish this conversation and we are going to give our rating and we'll share what we're reading in our next fantasy series. So come right back. Okay, welcome back. What else do we have on our laundry list of complaints?
I guess we did kind of talk about how he brought Rowan back to life. When Rowan died, I was a little bit shocked, but also very happy that the author was actually killing people in the battle, like important people. I was like, okay, good. It sucks, it hurts, but this is a good thing because not everybody's going to survive a battle. And then they brought him back to life, and I did my words.
Yeah. And then all the women, so Willow, her sister-in-law, whatever her name is, I can't remember, Juniper, and their mother, they get stashed away with the kids like, oh, human women and children can't fight. Go hide.
Oh, not the pregnant woman. Not the pregnant woman.
Who, by the way, is not even showing. She's not stumbling around full with a big belly. She's fully capable.
She's still in the first trimester. I think she was maybe 11 weeks. And 10, 11 weeks.
Yeah. And supposedly she was spending time with Cora, learning how to use a sword. She was fighting. She even took her doubt out of her brain so she could fight a little better.
Which is good.
But what happened with that? Nothing. What was the point of
Nothing.
wasting time on training her to do what? Run and hide?
Fought the monster for like 2 seconds. Like I said earlier, the little girls did more damage than she did, but I guess they're warriors who've been training since birth, so now that they're, like, what, 9, 10 years old, they're better than Willow,
Mhm.
and then she did nothing. She
Yeah.
was just a womb in this book. Just a
Yeah,
womb.
which it brought her right down to base level of being a baby machine, and that is it. She is just a baby baker. And that's it. End of story.
I wouldn't be this upset if, like, she had just saved the babies for the epilogue. And Willow
Mhm.
was just, fighting for her brother, fighting for her people, fighting for her friends and the world and the kingdoms and like doing stuff the whole book and then got pregnant at the end. Fine, whatever. I can skip an epilogue. That does not matter. But like, she just made it the entire plot and it
I
just
know.
killed everything.
It did. Because honestly, I agree with you. She could have had her just be regular this entire book. We didn't even have to hear about her pregnancy on the page at all. She could have jumped by a year and surprised here some kids.
Yes.
And she could have left the epilogue as it is, and it would have been cute because we didn't know about her pregnancy. She wasn't pregnant then. They survived. Here we are a year later with some kids. That could have
Yeah.
been even okay.
Yes. I would have been happy with that. Not
Yeah,
really happy, but like happy with that. Like, okay, whatever. It's the pregnancy trope. It's the
right.
epilogue trope. Done. I'm just so mad that her brother died and she cried twice. And that was it.
And so also, I want to talk about when she was told about her brother.
So fucked
Cora.
up.
Yeah, I think it was Cora that did that, wasn't it? Or
I
was
think
it Hasha?
so. I think it was Cora.
You're gonna mute the girl's feelings so she couldn't feel the feelings. And at that time, I was like, wow, that is fucked up. That is crazy.
That's
Like,
so fucked up.
like she couldn't even cry. They had like one
Ugh.
tear going down her eye. So like the author has the capability, it's in there to write like these heart-wrenching things.
Mhm.
But then it turns and it's like a different book all of a sudden. It was so weird.
And it was okay. So they muted her emotions. Kaz put her to bed and said, "Go sleep. I'm going to deal with some stuff." He came back like
Yeah.
an hour, 2 hours later, and she was being kidnapped and crying while being kidnapped. Obviously, having some emotions, not
Yes.
completely dead to the world, as like when he
Right.
put her to sleep, and she's like, "I can't feel anything." So, inconsistencies there. She
Mhm.
wakes up 2 days later. It should have worn off. It still takes another hour, 2 hours for it to wear off after her bath, and then all of a sudden she's crying and she's like, "Everybody dies because of me." And I was like, "You should be crying because they just murdered your brother and then took away all of your emotions and wouldn't let you feel it because they said you were gonna be rash."
Like,
Like,
you would
what
not
the
be able to
actual fuck?
like, you can't chew gum and walk at the same time. You can't be distraught about your brother and still fight what you're supposed to fight.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
that
and
would
then
make me
after
more
that, she
angry.
never like, she was sad about Warren at the end, but it was all about the baby. All about the baby after that, and I was just like, "Fuck this. Let her grieve Warren." Like, she spent how many years on Earth believing that he was still alive and hoping that he was still alive
Yeah.
and trying to find him and do all of these things, and now all of a sudden she's like, "No, he's dead and gone, and I'll get his ashes, and that's okay." Like,
Yeah.
what? No.
Yeah. Boohoo.
What?
It was so sad. And at the end there, they just totally let the author decide to let Danica just, like,
Die.
lay down and fucking just die. I just
That she ran away as soon as he turned into a monster, but did not go tell anybody that he was a monster. She was gone and hiding for months, doing
Mhm.
who knows what. She could have been finding a cure, but didn't, I guess. And then she comes back at the end to fight and die. Like, what?
Mhm.
I know I didn't trust her, but I feel so bad for her character. Like, she deserved so much better.
I agree. Like, she coulda I don't know, anything
Would have been better.
Actually, I would have preferred
Okay.
I would have liked to switch completely the story
Uh-huh.
around. I would have
Yes.
preferred for Danica to be pregnant,
Ooh.
and then, of course, they are protecting her because that's my niece or nephew in there. We gotta save the world, and this is all that's left of my brother.
Would have been a much better plot line. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I could get behind that.
a bit more interesting, and I think that Willow would have fought just as hard.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's her brother's baby. She would do
Yeah.
anything for her brother
Mm-hmm.
before book 3 started. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
that would have
know.
been really good too.
And then, so yeah, when she got her power, it would have been like, I don't know, it just would have felt different. It would be different because she's avenging, in a way that she really couldn't be in this book. Like even so she gets the power, she comes and saves Cass pretty much
Mhm.
at the end there. And then
Yeah.
she's like, "What do I do? What do we do with her?" I'm like, "Are you fucking stupid? Kill her."
Yeah. That moment, oh my god. I had to put the book down and just rub my forehead. Like, what in the world? No.
Like, what do you mean? What do you do? Yank her head off. If you have the power, do it.
Yeah.
Save the day.
Yeah. Like, what is even happening?
I know. So you still got the power, still don't know what to do, silly girl.
Ugh.
Yeah. That shit was so annoying. I'm sorry.
So annoying.
That is like the quickest downhill turn I've ever seen.
I know. I've never seen us this betrayed by a book, quite
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Usually when we're giving 5 stars, the next book might be 4 stars, and we're like, "It wasn't quite as good, but we still really loved it. It was still really close." Like, now it's like just tanking.
Yeah. It's so weird. And then, okay, so to give the author credit, I did think it was kind of cool that she brought the Regals in for their own POV chapters.
Yes.
That was unique. But on the flip side of that, from the audiobook perspective, I couldn't even tell there was a third narrator. I thought the original narrator, the female narrator, was doing it. I didn't even know there was a
No.
third narrator.
Oh,
I couldn't even tell a difference. So what was the point of that?
that's not good at all.
No, I was like,
If it's a
oh, what?
different person, it needs to be very, like, unique and distinct.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was very blended in with the other female narrator. So I don't know.
Ugh.
It was fine, I guess.
Ugh.
But I don't know. And then we got their POV, but it was still like them still lying to the audience. Like they were still concealing and hiding.
Yeah. Because it was third person limited, so we weren't it was like we were just watching them, not
Mhm.
even, like, inside their heads, because they would talk and cut themselves off and be like, "Nope, we
Mhm.
can't reveal that." I was like, "This is
Yeah.
annoying. This is
Yeah,
really
so it's
annoying."
like it's very different use of that,
Yeah,
third
third person.
limited. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really like it. So I thought it was
No.
interesting that she did it, but it wasn't executed properly, I don't think.
I mean, that's part of the reason why I kept hoping Warren was still alive, because, like, they were very obviously like, "We have lots of secrets that we're not telling Willow."
Mhm.
And I was like, maybe Warren is buried underground or hiding in a tomb in the ocean or something.
But to be honest, we didn't need their point of view or even to see a little bit into their side to know that they were hiding. We know that.
I know that. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
again, the author kind of missed the opportunity, I guess, to do something different with that perspective,
Mhm.
other than to just sow more distrust for those characters,
Yep.
which we already had enough of.
Yep.
Wow. I have to say, I did not expect this.
I didn't either. I was thinking it would be another 5 star, or I was hoping it'd be another 5 star, maybe a 4 star, like a little bit of a letdown just because it's the final book. But this,
This was crash and burn, in my opinion. Crash and burn.
absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
minute the pregnancy came up, I was like, do not text, and I didn't. I was like, I'm gonna, because if all I had to say was one word, and you would have already knew what happened.
I mean, as soon as she threw up, I was like, fuck this. She's pregnant. Both of us are going to hate
Yeah.
this book. This is
Yeah.
tanking. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is so disappointing. I just
It really
Don't
is.
think I'd read another fantasy by this author.
I
I'm done.
I'm not gonna give up just yet because the first 2 books were so good, and she did set up a lot of other characters to have spinoffs, but there was that note at the very end of the book where she said, like, this isn't her best-selling series, and she's grateful for everybody who's read it. Uh,
Yeah.
so I have a feeling that she's not gonna keep writing unless all of a sudden it picks up and everybody loves the series, but
Well, she writes her other genre is like domestic thriller, I guess, or domestic suspense. She writes a lot of that. So maybe fantasy is just a little out of her box.
wasn't like this was the world building was really good. The first 2 books were so good. I don't wanna
But
negate
she
that.
doesn't
Like, as
know.
much as I hate this 3rd book, the first 2 were really good, and she
Okay, so
just
again, that tells me she doesn't know how to land the plane. And I've had this problem with another book I've read from her that was domestic suspense. And I think I told you originally I was nervous about picking her because I felt kind of meh, middle of the road about the other book I read from her. And I think my problem with that was she didn't know how to land the plane at the end.
okay.
So here we are. It's the same formula, just spread over 3 books. She
But the
didn't know how
first
to
2
treat
books were so good.
she didn't know how to treat a strong FMC. She
No,
turned her into
a
a
week.
mediocre, weak character with no abilities at all,
Mhm.
except for some that were so over the top, it was unimportant at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
And then she fell into these tropes that I really don't like. The whole pregnancy thing, and that's the only thing in the world that matters is having this baby. I don't care if I die for it thing. I hate.
Yeah.
I feel like she doesn't even know how to treat like the hero in a
Yeah, that's
way that.
true.
And I've said this from the beginning with Kaz's character. He's never been like swoon worthy to me, not from the beginning. So she missed opportunities to even make him more attractive. So if you're gonna make this woman so soft and meek, why is he also a beta? Why is he a beta?
Because he's emotional, which technically is good, but in this case, it wasn't, like, a good emotional.
No,
He was
I
just
like. I don't mind some emotion. I don't mind some doubt. But at some point, you're gonna have to get over your shit and go fight the war.
he never did. Even
Yeah,
in the middle of the battle, he never got over his own shit.
right. And then, of course, well, one fun thing that did happen, I was nervous up to the end of the book. I was like, "Are we ever gonna see the best friend again?" We did.
Well, yeah, Faye. We
Yeah,
called
we
that or
did
you
see
called
Faye.
that, where now they're so powerful, they can just hop back and forth between Earth and their
Yeah,
realm and,
that's
bring
what
Faye
happened.
over. And that's why I was like, "Okay, maybe there'll be a spinoff book with Faye."
No, I don't want it now. I don't, because they're gonna turn Faye she's gonna turn Faye into some driveling, sappy soul, and,
Not.
I don't know. It's just
Ugh,
disappointing, but, yeah, we did get the wedding, but I have to admit the vows were definitely the vows that we didn't really hear Willow's vows, but we
no.
heard Kaz's vows, and it was very long. It was a long I think it was, like, 2 pages of vows,
Yeah. No, he
2.5
he went
pages.
on and on and on.
About how great she was and the best thing that ever happened to him, and she brought him to life and blah, blah, blah. In the moment when I was reading it, I said, "Oh, that's cute."
Yeah.
It's definitely a woman writing what we would love for men to say.
Definitely. I was like, every woman has this fantasy of a man saying this to her.
I don't know, no man that would come out with that soliloquy. I don't know, not one, including my own damn husband. He wouldn't even know how to say that.
No. Only fictional
So
men speak like
only
this.
fictional men. I'm like, that's so cute. But, so yeah, there was a little bit of that. But, I'm like, I didn't even really need the wedding either. I didn't need the wedding. Didn't
Again,
need.
like, that's fine as, like, the final chapter with the baby epilogue at the very
Hmm.
end after we've saved Warren. I don't even count his death as, like, one of the main characters dying because he
Hmm.
wasn't a main character. He was on the page less than Faye, honestly. Like, Faye, the best friend, had much more page time than he ever did, and
Hmm.
so he's dead, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So much better if they'd found a way to save him and they'd
I
focused on
know.
saving him instead of just killing him off.
I agree. And also all the, like, kind of world building the author worked so hard on in that second book, it kind of fell by the wayside in the third book.
Because everybody just came together to fight together and everybody's happy.
Yeah. So lack of development for the characters, lack
Mhm.
of, like, expanding the world in itself and understanding these gods more, just flattening of our FMC.
Yep. I just I don't know if we've had a series tank this hard this fast before. We've had some
No.
that, like, progressively got worse. There was that Anne Bishop series where we loved
Oh
book
god.
1, book 2 was
You know what? Speaking of
okay, book
which,
3
that author has been back online. She showed up in my feed recently, and I think
no.
she either has something new. And all I could think was, I'm still disgruntled over the fact that we read all those books and these motherfuckers just barely could kiss each other. I was so pissed.
I know. Yeah. I mean,
Like, I'm
progression
done with you. I'm
yeah.
done with you, Miss Bishop. We can't.
We can't be friends.
No, but but yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this author. Like, I feel like this was such a crash and burn. I
Mm.
don't know if I can read any more of this genre from her because that just tells me she doesn't know how to, again, land the plane.
Ugh, I wanna hug her and tell her that she has so much potential. Those first 2 books were so good.
Yeah.
They were so
But
good.
now, I mean, unless I know, like, if there are people out there, this book would be for you if you just really love people coming together, getting married, and having babies and skipping off into the sunset. If that is your ideal ending for any
Yes.
book,
Yes.
then this is the right ending for you. And you'll probably enjoy the ride getting there,
Yeah.
generally speaking, because that's what you want out
That's
of it.
book
So you'll
3.
get it.
Yeah.
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 But if you're looking for huge, like, development and character growth and you want the FMC to be badass and kick ass, that's not what you're going to get here.
Not at all.
And I'd like to say two things can be true. So I want her to be badass and kick ass. And then, like, later, like we said
Mhm.
in the epilogue, go ahead, have your twins skipping around and flying around and shit. Go ahead. Go, girl. Do it. But,
Would have appreciated that so much more if the pregnancy had not been part of the main plot, but just epilogue.
hmm
Fine.
hmm
I can skip an epilogue. I don't wanna skip a whole damn plot.
right. All right. I think I'm ready to rate this good or bad for good or bad.
No.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
Da-da-da. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5.
Mhm.
So so the first book for me was a 4, the second book was a 5, and this is a 2. Crash and burn. What about you?
I'm with you. It's a 2-star.
Mhm.
I think I gave the first one 5 on vibes. Also, book 2
Mhm.
was a 5 on vibes because I was riding high. I was like, "This is doing everything we love and everything we ever wanted." And then this one just crashed and burned. 2
Mm.
stars. Like,
Yeah.
it's not you're right. I'll have to when I recommend this book to people, I'll have to very, like, "What do you want the ending to be? How do you want the 3rd book to be? Are you okay with the pregnancy trope?" Then this
Like,
series is
I
for
know
you.
people in my world I would recommend this to because they're just soft and fuzzies and they just like all the gooey
Yeah.
lifetime romance vibes, then this is for
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
But people who read more like me, I would never. I would
Yeah.
never. So close, but so far at the same time. Yeah.
We went too close to the sun. We were
We
riding
did.
too high.
Yeah. Look, the universe said, "You having too much fun. We gonna kick you
Yeah.
down a couple notches."
Come on, psych. We'll do the one thing you both hate. So you
Playing
both
in our
hate
face.
this.
Yeah. So, all right. Now it's time to try this again with something else. Can you share what's up
Yes, yes, yes.
next? Okay.
Okay. So I picked our next duology and I hope it's good. Fingers crossed. It is called These Immortal Truths by Rachel Rafta. Here it is on
Mhm.
my phone so you can see. For those of you who can see it without the window. Yeah. The first chapter, we read the sample. It was a little slow, but the writing was really good. And I am hopeful that the pacing will pick up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed, a little different, a little interesting, a little not what we've read recently. So,
Yeah. So here's the thing. So I guess the catch for me was first, shape-shifting God. That's like a main theme here. Also, it's in England, 1184, so it's pretty old, but it also, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but it's pretty well known that this spans some time. This book series spans some time. It's 2 books.
yeah.
So I'm thinking that even if it starts in 1184, we're not going to stay in 1184 for too long.
Yeah. Again, that's me
Yeah.
hoping that it picks up a little bit. Like, first chapter is going to be slow to set the stage. Then
Yeah.
it's going to pick up a little bit. So fingers crossed it's better. If not, it's
Yeah.
only 2 books.
Right. And I mean, honestly, this is another one that's kind of like not that popular. There aren't that many ratings out there in the world for this, but the ratings that are there are good, but that really means nothing for me. That means nothing anymore because I find that I don't agree with the ratings half the time anyway.
Tor. This was originally self-published, and now it is being reprinted by Tor. And they are usually pretty picky about who they pick up. So, again, fingers crossed. It's looking kind of hopeful. But after I was just burned by this last book,
I'm skeptical going into it, but I will give it the whole chance. The cover art's pretty. It's different. Yeah, who knows? You never know what we might come across.
Exactly.
So, and like you said, the first chapter was a little slow, but that doesn't mean anything.
So slow chapters before.
Yeah. It could totally turn around and be like breakneck pace at 20% or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Actually, this is a great time for you guys to join us over on book clubs because you still have time to join and talk with us about this book. So if you read it and you thought, man, Tamara, Casey, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. That shit was still amazing. Let's come to book club because I know that there are other people that also felt like this. And what's great about book club is everyone shares their opinion, and sometimes we end up being softer on a book after other people convince us that it's really great.
Yes, that has happened in book club.
And it also has happened that everyone thinks the same thing and we just rage for an hour. That has also happened. So come along and see what's going to happen this time. I have a feeling that a good portion of the book club will agree with us. And there may be 1 or 2 outliers, but based on the conversation I've seen on the Discord, we've got at least 2 people side with us. So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, also it's a great time to join so you can start our next series with us and be involved from day 1. And you won't have to do any catching up or anything like that. So, yeah. Okay. I think that's all I got for today. What about you?
That's all I have for now.
Okay. Well, this has been a great episode. Fun time talking trash, as always. Thanks for listening to this entire episode. We appreciate you for doing that. Remember, keep your TBR high and your spoilers tagged. See you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
Did you enjoy today's episode? If so, please head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave a positive 5-star review. It's a simple action that makes a big difference. You can also like this episode on your favorite podcast player or share it with your fellow bookworm friends on social media. Joining the Shelf Addiction Patreon family is another way to support us. For as little as $2 a month, you can help our team create even more amazing bookish content. If Patreon isn't your thing, consider becoming a supporter on the Spreaker app for just $5 a month and gain access to exclusive audio-only content. You can find me everywhere, including Instagram, X, and TikTok under the handle Shelf Addiction. Join our book club of the same name on the book club's website and app, where we discuss all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. Thanks for tuning in.